This guy, no intro today. This guy.
No man, diamonds in my teeth, I got a lot of shine. Running up the number, that's a lot of crime. Try to take it from me, must be out your mind. Big time, lot of slime. Smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Pockets running over with the dollar sign. Try to take it from me, yeah. Big time, big time, big time.
Welcome to episode 417 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn and Mr. Primo, aka Prime. And shout out to Tim in the building. We're doing a Our Guys episode. Now we've been talking about the draft since it's been a while. It's been months. We're coming down to the very end. 2 days away. Thursday is almost here. Jury duty almost knocked me out. They let your boy out. But a lot of things are going on that are trying to keep me away from the draft, but I'm not letting it stop me. So tonight we're just going to talk about our guys. There's going to be a lot of prospects, and if you guys are in the chat, you want to talk about some of your guys, talk along with us, and then we'll probably finish off with a mock draft and be happy with it. I'm excited about this time. I literally woke up this morning. I'm going to say every morning for the last couple of weeks, like it's Christmas. I'm so excited about this draft. I feel like this is the draft that can put us over the hump and prepare us for the future. And I think the draft is falling to us in the perfect way, whether we want a corner, whether we want some versatile linemen, whether we want some fucking dope-ass wide receivers, wide receiver 3. We already got 2 dope-ass wide receivers in Devontae and AJ, but it's just falling perfectly for me. So with that being said, are you guys ready to rock out today? Or?
Geeked, bro. 48 hours till we got the draft. I got a question for you off the bat, just because you got me thinking. You're saying that for the past few weeks, every day has felt like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, in your mind, as Gail Saunders, is it the lead up to the draft and the whole studying part, or is it the actual draft that you enjoy more?
The whole. I mean, I go through
separate entities. I'm saying
the draft.
He's a geek.
The draft, I kind of blank out. I blank out. It's like I don't even actually appreciate it because I've been thinking about it so much. So I think the on the way up is very cool. But
it's the homework assignment. He loves doing that shit.
Yeah.
He loves doing the study and all that stuff.
And it all starts in Mobile, Alabama for him. You know what I'm saying? So,
and by the way, just so y'all know, this is how serious Gail takes it: is that if you mess up any of these players' names, you get scolded.
Yep. And
that goes for anyone in the chat too.
Me.
We have a class for the Polynesian names, so if you guys are ready, we got it for you.
That's how serious it is.
Yo.
So, Prom, are you ready?
I'm actually ready. I gotta say that this is the first time in a while on draft week that I've actually did some studying. You know what I mean? Big ups to Gales for pretty much starting off my weekend, reaching out to me Friday night to go ahead and do a show, showing up at the link to get a Jalen Hurts autograph, man. You know what I mean? So that pretty much started off the weekend. Great. We were out there, hardcore like we always do, 4:00 in the morning. Well, Gail was actually there half an hour before me. Rain started coming down. We ended up, we got through it. We met some cool people. Big up to Frank that we met there. Real cool dude. He fit right in with us. He made the 6 hours that we were waiting there patiently go by pretty fast. Bought us Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, man.
Damn.
Bought us Dunkin'
6
Donuts,
hours?
took us out. Yeah, bro, because the shop didn't open up till 10 a.m. So we got up in there. We got the privilege to meet Jalen. Yeah, he ended up signing the jerseys. It was a good time. But yeah, that started off the draft week. I mean, as you guys can see, I got my draft hat on. I know we're days away. This is the week where most teams say they put a Super Bowl team, whether if it's now or for the future, together, besides the Cowboys. But this is what it's all about. This is the exciting part. So, for Gail, for Evan, for you, Tim, I did some studying. I did some, try to force myself to get some notes together. So yeah, I'm ready for the show tonight.
That's what's up. Can we see the hat? Can we see the patch?
Yeah, absolutely. You got the, you know, what I mean, as you can see.
Hey, the patch is nice.
Mine's coming tomorrow.
Yeah, man. I
can't wait.
You know me when it comes to the drip. I can't wait. So
it's much better than last year's, I must say.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hold on. There we go.
That's what we do.
Got the show off. Get the show off in here.
Flex.
There we go. There we go. There we go.
That's the show off.
Yeah. Yeah, you see that too lucky. Yeah.
Yo, the funny thing is for that the autograph session.
It's yours. Relax.
Shout out to Big Dom. Big Dom's walking by. And he rolls up. He's like, "Yo, Gail, what's up, man? It's always good to see you, bro." And I was like,
"You got recognized by Big Dom?"
I was like, "We on a
Big Dom recognized." Yeah.
So then I roll up to Jalen, and then he's like, "Bro, I feel like I see you everywhere." He's like, I've seen you at the practices. I've seen you at the Eagles Autism. I'm like, okay, bro. And then I was just like pretty geeked, but he was definitely cool. Talked about his off season. Says he's good. He says he's ready to go. I said, "Just take a little break."
Wow, the restraining order is in the mail. They know you.
we be out here. Yeah, Tim, how are you? Are you ready for the draft?
I am, man. I'm ready for the draft. I do. My hat comes in tomorrow. I can't wait to rock. I got the same hat as Primo. Yo, shout out to you guys for doing God's work. 3:30 and 4 o'clock in the morning, 6-hour wait, hell, sleet, snow. Eagles fans, we never fail. We here all day, every day. I love it, man. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all, man. Most definitely. But yes, I am ready for the draft. Cannot wait. The anticipation is crazy.
So anticipation is crazy. So Tim said he wants to be up first. He gave me a laundry list of prospects.
This is where the scolding is about to begin.
Hey, so my first 2 picks, I'm probably gonna get scolded. Just gonna put that out there. So
we might have to call HR. You better get it right. Tim's first pick up to bat. You want to talk about?
Yeah, man. You got everything in the way though, so we got.
Yeah, I'm about to.
We appreciate it. Yeah, we got Troy Fontenot. You?
Oh God!
There it is.
Did I mess it up?
Gold.
Oh, here we go. Hey, actually,
go to the corner.
I'm gonna be him. Yeah, man. This is my first option right here. A freak of an athlete, can fire off the line of scrimmage. Good hand usage, understands leverage. Can work with the 3 techniques. So, this is my first pick. If I am on the board at 22, no, I'm not moving up. Yeah, guys. Can I hear some critics?
I like it.
No,
it's good.
It's one of the positions that we've definitely been talking about. He's one of the top flight guys out there. You know, I think that a big body, especially as talented as himself, that Jeff Stoutland would have a field day, and we would easily feel reassured at the guard position. We could finally put those worries to rest.
Right, and the reason why I think I went with Troy is because, so we go offense. You want to get that guy that's going to be a staple at the guard position. Is not going to go nowhere. He's going to be the guard.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you know how he likes to get top picks in the trenches in the 1s and 2s rounds. So that was the reason why I went with not to. Right.
Mm.
So we got like 4 different pronunciations during this.
So you're looking to move up then?
Well,
if you're David Johnson.
Well, hold on. We just got news. There's a possibly Atlanta might be losing the draft pick.
Yeah, in this draft, I heard it was next year.
No, they said they're working on this week. We don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying there's a possibility. So
I heard it was.
that's one pick. That's one pick out
because of the Kirk Cousins nonsense.
So that's one pick out the door.
I heard those are both for next year, though.
I'm not sure. Nobody knows. Everybody just, this is all speculation. But I'm just saying, might be a chance because we already know. We already know it's going to be quarterbacks and tackles and two corners that are going to be going up there, right? And then we're 22. So it's going to be knocking down some players in the skill positions and trenches coming into our way.
I got you. Let's hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, I like the idea of it. I think if you bring Troy into the mix, I think you got the best offensive line off the rip. Like you have a young, two talent. I think it depends on how Steen is viewed by Stoutland, obviously, but I think that's another one. I could have swore I saw Stoutland drooling over Troy.
You didn't want to say the last name. You didn't want to say the last name.
No, but I agree. No, I agree with. I mean, the entire sentiment that you're saying. He's a physical freak, and he would fill a massive void.
Now, next.
Yeah, I mean they do mention that he is a physical freak and he's very vocal. Played a leadership in that locker room. I mean, the guy started for the past 2 seasons every game, and I mean that in that position. I mean, but look, a young stud. Something we definitely need to go ahead and pay attention to these next couple of seasons because you know what I mean. I'm not downgrading none of our offensive linemen now, but age does eventually catch up to you, and Kelsey ended up retiring at the age of 31, 32. Who's to say who's next? You know what I mean. So we got to prepare ourselves. So I with the way history has gone and our draft picks, not saying that how he's going to stick to that regime, but don't be surprised if he goes a guard here in the first round.
Let's go to your next guy, Fuaga. He was down to Senior Bowl.
So Talise Wagu, right?
Fuaga, bruh.
Fuaga.
You just add syllables in there.
I'm gonna be messing these up, man. I'm gonna be messing these up. So what I see here is a man among boys, the best run blocker tackle in the draft. And just, you got to bring a lunch belt with this kid. This kid is, I think to me, he's probably the best tackle, so I was thinking, go ahead and draft Lane's replacement right now, but he could also play guard. They're saying that he could play all 5 spots. I don't know about playing center. I haven't seen it, but I know you can move him around. So that was the reason why I went here.
The comment section is loving it.
I mean, I like Fuaga. I think if you do move up for him, that's the whole idea of have the best offensive line, have a guy to be, right there, learn next to Lane, just learn the position on the fly as he's playing guard. I just think you might just have to hope that these guys move. This player next, amongst the group of us, there has been a lot of talk. I mean, Cooper DeJohn.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He was on my list as well. Tim, if you want to give your dissertation.
Yeah. Cooper DeJohn. Can play multiple positions in the secondary, punt returner. He's body of work, man. Body of work in college. I mean, every time I see his highlight, the first thing is like him intercepting and catching the ball and going for a pick 6. My honorable mention here. Can I say Wiggins is my honorable mention?
Yeah.
Nate Williams is also my honorable mention here as well. Explosive, fast, but a little light in the ass. Pause. At 6'1", 173 pounds. He can play physical. And can play the mirror match. Mirror match is basically he can run the routes. He has route recognition. Also, he'll let your wide receiver get one step. He'll catch him to that wide receiver and run the route for the wide receiver.
He's kind of light in ass. Not physical in the run though.
No, not in the run. Just physical as he can put his hands on you, off the line of scrimmage. No Diddy. Y'all killing me in the comments.
Too late.
Now, day two guys you want to talk about?
Yeah. So my day 2 guy will be Cooper Beebe, man from Kansas State. Perfect size, wide body for the guard position, 6'3", 322 pounds, and has a lot of experience. Has played 4 years with K State. I just think he'd be perfect in the second round if you miss out on Troy in the first round. So that would be Brandon Fisk. Yes. Senior Bowl, seen it with my own eyes. Dude has a motor. It sucks when I did tell Gail to look at this guy. He got beat down in this particular play. But this is somebody, man, that has a motor, strong, and he'll get at you. Defensive tackle, 6'3", 292 pounds, big boy.
Let's see. You also had Jaden Hicks.
Yes,
Not
Jaden
Jordan
Hicks. Yeah, Jaden Hicks, safety. Somebody that's going to be able to understand. You can basically kind of like put them in different matches, different coverages. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. Different matches. So I do like him, but he is probably more of like maybe day 3, maybe day 2.
Ooh, Jaden Hicks.
Is he? Because I think when I see he was a day 2.
Day 2.
Later, a later round though. He might be a later round, right?
No.
Nah.
Jaden Hicks.
It's a safety position though.
Yeah, but
just in case if you guys didn't notice too, Gail also gets bothered if you go ahead and put them in the round they don't belong in.
It was his fault. It wasn't because he wasn't on my what's name. I just put him honorable mentions.
This is how intense it gets.
Yeah, facts.
It's my fault. You gave me a list.
I gave you honorable mentions.
Does your list say anywhere it says honorable mentions on it?
Well, no, I gave you.
Give me your next guy.
And 53.
Give me your next guy.
So my next guy will be Texas A&M Edgerrin Cooper, day 2. Yo, bro, this is somebody. This kid he plays with his hair on fire. Possesses elite long speed. Can run down his tackle targets. Skilled block dodger with the ability to play around traffic without being slowed down in matches. This is somebody that this is a difference maker. This is somebody that you want on your team, middle as a linebacker, play offside. As an outside linebacker, he's just everywhere. Side to side speed is ridiculous.
Yeah, no, I mean that's a guy we've obviously been talking about a lot. He's been a Eagles fan favorite. It's all going to come down to the pivotal question is Howie going to pull that trigger? It's not the first round. We're talking day 2 right now, Howie. Edgerrin Cooper is if he's there at 50 or 53, I think a lot of Eagles fans would be upset about that.
Right. That's just the thing, man. I'm looking forward to day 2 because of this kid. You know what I mean? And you guys got me all hyped up about him, watching more and more videos, seeing the way he plays the field side by side, the way he chases down these quarterbacks, these running backs, even like dump off plays to wide receivers that are on the screen. He's catching these guys just as well. We need that push. We need that stud right now in that linebacker. We were hoping that get that out of Nakobe. Not shutting down Nakobe. You know what I mean? This is his rebound year. Hopefully we'll get to see that out of him. But hey, man, when you got a stud like Edgerrin Cooper out there, you got to go grab him. I mean, So that's the one that's going to really light it up for me on this draft pick.
Gotcha. What about you, Gail? Because you and I were talking. You were mostly about you were on Colson's side more than Cooper.
I just think overall talent. I think he's a better overall prospect. I think I do like Cooper. He's got that range, but I feel like if I'm gonna the whole leadership part of Colson, I like what he brings to the game. Talk about one of the top defenses in the country. and he ran that. So you figure you want to add that kind of guy into the mix. I think his story in Colson, being an orphan, being adopted, and just the Haitian brothers. His teammate Sandy Strill, also Haitian. You've talked about being Haitians are built different. Yeah, man. I think Colson's nice, but you had another cornerback, Kyrie Jackson.
Yeah, Kyrie Jackson, man. Yeah, 6'4", 195 pounds. This kid, Senior Bowl, he didn't participate until I think it was like day 3. Was that right, Gail?
I'm not sure.
Actually. It was like day 3, but he brought the intensity. When I mean, he was basically out there talking to wide receivers, like, run y'all routes correctly. Like, he was out there like challenging them. He's 24 years old, so he's a little bit on the older side. So if he's coming into the draft, he's not exactly polished yet, but he's coming in at 24. I don't know when he turns 25, but he's coming into the league then, and you can polish him. You can wait a year. I mean, I know we don't want that, right? But let's be honest. Anything is better than Bradbury at this point. So,
competition to camp
got reinstated today, but I like tall corners. That's just what I'm about. I like guys I can be able to, because these wide receivers now, bro, they 6'5", 6'4". You know what I'm saying? So, you want to match up. You want to match up really well.
I mean, Bradbury's 6'2" as well. He's a big corner.
I remember talked to prospect of a few years ago, 4th and Jawn. We had one Mr. Izzy McQuamu who ended up going to the Cowboys. I believe he was 6'4" as well. And I mean, I like a long-armed, a long-limbed cornerback, man. I think that they can definitely be more disruptive. Yeah.
People in the chat are talking about what do you guys? Shout out to Mark G says, what do you guys think about?
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That's one of your guys. I just think he's more the same of Nakobe Dean. I think Nakobe Dean is
correct.
He's, but he might be a little bit undersized. We'll get to him though. We'll get to him.
Yeah. You want to go by day 3?
Yeah.
So we got straight out of Notre Dame, Jim Nagy. Jim Nagy supports this move. We got Cam Hart, has elite size, has good feet and hips, and he looks like shout out to my boy Coach. He looks like my boy Coach, aka Marcus.
He's in the chat. He's in the chat right now. He
Marcus, like, this is your twin. This is your twin, Marcus.
You look like Ike Reeks and Marcus.
So, and if you want to go back and you don't trust me, go back and watch the Ohio State game. He put the clamps on Marvin Harrison Jr. Put them clamps. That was his best game out of the whole year. So if you don't believe me, please go check him out, man. He put them clamps. And I'm telling you, man, this kid was at Senior Bowl and he was turning heads, man.
Okay. You got anybody else?
Chris Abrams.
Okay.
Drains. Talented prospect with good football intelligence. Has the versatility to fit with multiple teams, and you can switch up the coverages. I just like the way he plays. He's an inside corner though. He's an inside corner, but the kid likes to tackle too. He'll get unglued and go make a tackle.
How about who was the? You got any other prospects? I know you had your boy Jaheim
Jaheim Bell, aka the RB singer. That's me, more of a 5th rounder, aka ODB's son. This kid, you can put this kid in anywhere. I think he'll be like a plug and play. He's a short tight end, but he's mostly like a fullback, running back. He'd be used like a use check is being used in the 49ers offense.
He can get that yak, man. The yak is crazy these days. I mean, everybody wants a yak machine to add to the mix. I think thinking about our tight ends, we do have a lot of tight ends in a group.
We got some Jags, man. I'm including my son in there, but
So Ev, did you want to go next?
Yeah.
Well, you guys talk much stuff as I bring up your things, but
well, I mean, if you leave the one in there, I can start with Cooper Jean. since I that man is one of my first round or my day one selections. Cooper DeJean, obviously we've talked about him a little bit here. He is a standout corner, obviously, out of Iowa. He has been absolutely balling, put up an insane college resume. He's also extremely effective in the return game. There's not a lot not to like about Cooper DeJean, and I feel like, for the the obvious reasons, he's being overlooked in the first round. But I think that I don't think it's a guy you trade up to get. I think it's a guy that if you're sitting there at 22 and he's still available, go get you some Cooper DeJean. I think you got a starting corner right there, right at pick 22.
His name's been a hot button for conversation. I think there's a lot of lazy analysis. People just don't even want to go watch the tape or anything. But I think overall, what you like about him is he's versatile. And this day and age, to get on the field, you got to be versatile. Mm-hmm. So as I get your rest of your list, some interesting picks. I knew right off the rip that you were going to have one of the guys in there.
I'm waiting for the list to pop. You want me to jump to that day?
Who else you got in the first?
All right. So in the first, I've got another guy that we've talked about a lot, Laiatu Latu. I think that obviously he's being talked about highly in the first round. There's thoughts that he doesn't last to 22. I wouldn't be opposed to moving up to go get him. I'm not going to move all the way up to 12 or anything by that means. But if you want to move up to 16 at the highest to go get him, I think that is an appropriate guy to go after. He's an absolute freak. He absolutely dominated it in the combine as well. And I think that I'm losing my train of thought with Laiatu Latu. I was going to go with the fireman route next. There's a lot of people that are out here in Eagles land that have experienced, a firefighter first round pick, and it scares them. And I understand why, and Danny Watkins, but I think that we right the ship this way. I don't think that he is dedicated his life to that. I think it's just a one-off comment that a lot of Philadelphia fans have kind of ran crazy with. So I think he would be an absolute stud to go after, to go up and get.
Yeah, people keep asking if he's going to be there around 22, but I feel like if the medicals aren't medicaling, and they don't feel like,
a neck's a serious injury.
Washington basically did not clear him. That's why he went to UCLA. Like he had to, because they weren't going to clear him. He played 2 years of football,
but some years have passed since that injury as well. He's played. He's been able to perform at a high level, at a level that got him into the first round conversations, the top half of the first round, after he had all of these injuries. So for that reason, I think it's proven to me that neck is all good, and I would love to have him as an Eagle.
That's a sexy pick. I think his hand usage is crazy. I think the way that he breaks down these offensive linemen, I think it's fun to watch. Like it's not normal.
Yeah.
But I think he's got the technique as some other, like a Dallas Turner is kind of like let it rip. This guy's an animal. I think Laiatu wins with like finesse and technique, and also he can he's solid against the run too. But
dude, and like for being 6'4" and nearly 260 pounds, like when you see him, he just looks like he looks like chiseled, man. He looks like a physical freak. They can move some bodies and just dominate the guy in front of him. For my third guy for day one, I thought a little bit outside the box on this one. I've been thinking about, let's take a trip down memory lane. A couple years ago, we were sitting there in the Eagles draft party at Lincoln Financial Field, and all of a sudden we get the news that the Eagles trade for AJ Brown. Anyone want to finish the story of how the Eagles finished that year?
No,
went to the Super Bowl. They went and got a proven talent, a proven first round talent. They went and got him, and I think that the Eagles are in the mix to trade that 22 pick, possibly some additional compensation, maybe a day 3 pick. Go get Patrick Surtain. You want to talk about locking down the corners, having Darius Slade, Patrick Surtain, Isaiah Rodgers, or Avonte Maddox in the slot. That secondary is starting to look pretty freaking good, man. It's starting to look pretty good. And Chauncey as a safety. I mean, you go get Surtain. That puts you into immediate contention mode.
So you're saying that him signing the 5th year, they picked up the 5th year option on him. You don't think that means anything?
I don't think that means anything. I simply think that means that they have more leverage in a trade. I mean, they're going to be able to give a prospective buyer another year with this guy, and ultimately, he's going to end up signing a massive contract on his next deal. So even the 5th year option is probably going to be less than he's going to end up getting, once he hits the open market.
Like, my thing is, I was watching them reveal the uniform, and he was like the main story. Mm-hmm. He started off the highlight video of the new uniform drop. It would be wild for them to trade Surtain. I just think.
Do you really think so? A team that's rebuilding and has so much dead cap that's tied to Russell Wilson still?
Well, I mean, looking at their cap next year, they got 88. They should have money. But I mean, if it would, like I said, just thinking about it, it would be the move of all moves if they could make that happen.
And if there's any GM in the NFL that can make a trade like that happen, he resides at the NovaCare complex in Harry Roseman. So anyway, let's go to day 2. Day 2. Pause. We're going to talk about Jawn Bullard. I've brought him up a couple times in when we've done the mock drafts. I think that he is one of the top safeties that is coming out in this draft. Obviously, the Eagles in recent years have loved to dip into the Georgia pool and just completely assimilate their entire defense. It's an extension of Georgia at this point, or SEC players. And I think Jawn Bullard would be another great addition to that. And for a position right now that we could use another guy. I feel like we are pretty thin at safety. Obviously, have faith in the Milk Missile, but I wouldn't mind another body there to have some competition, even take the position from him. So, what's your guys' thoughts on Jawn Bullard?
I think I like the versatility. I think overall, I think he can play. He can play slot. I think his read and react is crazy. I've seen him break up a couple of passes where he just took off like a missile. Yep. Not talking Milk Missile, but just talking about this missile. I think one thing that did concern me is he did have a DUI arrest, mm-hmm. and he had a couple arrests, man. When I went back and watched it, I was like, ooh.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first Georgia player.
I'm just like I was kind of surprised myself.
But yeah, no, I hear what you're saying, and that's obviously something that could potentially drop his draft stock. So if he ends up even falling into day 3, a la Jalen Mills, I know that he had some. Didn't he have legal trouble coming out? And that was Jalen Mills that dropped him to the 7th round.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Mills was able to turn that around, and he ended up being, for a 7th round pick, he was part of that Super Bowl team.
Bro, he got 3 contracts or 2 contracts now. 3 contracts. Now he's with the Giants.
So sticking with the defensive side of the ball, I'm going to bring up somebody that the comment section has been vying for. I'm going to talk about Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And I know that this is kind of a polarizing name at this point. In the prior to the combine and leading up to all that, there was a lot of people that were very high on Jeremiah Trotter. Didn't exactly end up doing the best in the combine. And I think that there was a lot of Eagles fans that started to view it through the lens that And do I just like this guy because he's Jeremiah Trotter's son? But I am here to tell you that the pendulum has swung too far in that direction, and we're overthinking that aspect of it. He's still a very good linebacker. We're talking about a guy that the past 2 seasons was second AP All-American. He is a productive linebacker. He didn't do that well in the combine, I will admit. But I think that his football intelligence that he possesses, obviously just the bloodline that he comes from, and what I've seen him and all of the Associated Press has seen him do in college tells me that he is a legitimate player. So I'm not down on Jeremiah Trotter. I would have him in round 3 or the beginning of day 3. What say you?
It's a great story.
It is a great story. I honestly think the kid probably should do one more year. I don't think he should jump into the NFL yet. I mean, the hype is because he is Jeremiah Trotter Sr.'s son. His dad was a stud. His dad was definitely a great linebacker.
Dad's one of my favorite Eagles of all time.
Right. The Axeman is definitely a favorite. But my thing is, watching him in the combine, because his name was definitely one that was out there. And again, because his father, because of his father, a lot of people followed it, such as myself. I followed it because that, I'm hoping you got the same genes as your dad. But seeing the combine, I don't know, man. I really wasn't impressed. And I feel like don't go wasting the opportunity to go jumping into the NFL, make a mistake. I think maybe you should just get one more year under your belt, work on a plan B. I'm not trying to doubt you, just saying work on a plan B. And if all goes well, then go out next draft and see how it goes. But that's just my opinion.
I think he's still. I mean, he is a top 5 linebacker in this draft. I mean, maybe top.
Is
6,
he really?
7, maybe 6, 7. I'm not sure. You got Peyton Wilson. After that, you got Edrin Colson, and it goes on. But yeah, I think I'm with you on that one, Primo. I think he needs to maybe one more year. One more year would have been dope and show dominance. You know what I'm saying? Show something that hops off the tape.
Is second AP All-American not dominance? You got to be first. I'm confused. We're talking about him like he's a bum. He's not a bum.
No,
I'm not saying he's a bum, man. I'm just saying.
I'm not saying he's a bum. It's just
so like he got a little bit he can still learn. Straight up.
And he's short. He's also a short linebacker.
Damn, you guys just height shaming. Mark G's asking the question. Evan, who's Milk Missile?
Milk Missile. That's my man Reed Blankenship, also known as Brian Chalkins, I think it was, or Chalk Dog.
Who said that?
It was Chalk Dog. And
wow. We just go with the flow.
What other ones were there?
We're winging these.
Call an HR.
Call
HR on this guy. Did you go through? You have.
No. So I'm still going here.
Okay.
So anyway, I believe we're moving into the day 3 guys here, or back end of day 2. But I also had a guard that I wanted to bring up. My man Christian Haynes out of UConn, another big body. One thing that jumped off the page to me about Christian Haynes, first of all, for 307 pounds to run a 5:03.40, it's pretty quick. Yeah, he's an athletic guy. I showed out. You guys didn't like Jeremiah Trotter at the combine. Christian Haynes showed out at the combine. He was very physically gifted, and on top of that, he started, I believe, I'm not sure if he missed a game. Started all 12 games in 2019. Didn't play because of COVID in 2020, and then he started 12 games in 2021, 13 games in 2022, and 12 games in 2023. One of the problems that we are running into as Eagles fans is the health of our offensive line. And this is a guy that's proven that he is not only a physical freak, but can stay healthy. And so for that, I like him in the right guard position.
Not bad. Sexy. Protection is sexy, Evan.
protection is sexy. Moving on down the list. One thing that I mentioned in the previous show is wanting to build the next era of Selleck and Ertz. We already got Goddard. Now I'm looking at Ben Sinnott.
I like this pick.
Yeah. So Ben Sinnott is another obviously big guy. I think he was 6'4", 250. And another guy did really well in the combine, runs a 4.68, very elusive in his routes. He's able to get open both in the short game, medium, and able to get deep. He's a refined route runner. He's good. He needs some work in the blocking game. But he seems like that, in my opinion, is something that can be worked on. Especially with the assistance of the blocking geniuses that we have on the squad in Jeff Stoutland. Probably throw some pointers there. I like him as another tight end to bring in day 3, just because as I'm looking at the rest of our tight ends, like I said prior to this, it looks like a bunch of Jags. We got Dallas Goedert, and then it's just a bunch of guys.
You just gonna kill your brother like that? Your son?
I am. I need someone to really ball out and show me that they're willing to go out and take that tight end 2 position rather than just be passively given it. So that's why I like Ben Sinnott.
Does nothing for you this group?
It's too many. Dallas Goedert's got the only pronounceable name in there. Come on. No, CJ's good. I just think that he's getting a little bit long in the tooth at this point of his career. He's an elder statesman, so I'm looking to build beyond him at this point. So going on to the next one is a guy that hidden in the late rounds that honestly I think he could go earlier than he's being projected. Bernardo Green is a guy that kind of seems to be slipping through the cracks to me. He's a crafty little cornerback out of Florida State. Didn't do the best in the combine, which is probably what is kind of hurting him. But he balled out, man. He's able, like I forget who Tim had mentioned, but when he gets beat, he's able to catch back up. He's a quick, he's a very quick cornerback, and I mean he played really well against Malik Neighbors and Brian Thomas. So I think that he has proven that he can play with the big boys. Those are guys that are going to go first round. I like Bernardo Green, day 3. If he's sitting there 4th, 5th round, I would go after him.
I like that pick. I actually had him in my list as well. So I just let you talk about it. I thought it was a good selection, day 3.
Thank you.
You're talking about where the Eagles want to go, cornerback, early or late. I mean,
why do you think he's kind of slipping? Do you think it was his performance in the combine? Because like I go and look, and I'm like, this guy kind of adds up as like a day 2 guy to me, not a day 3.
I mean, you see him against those talents, and that's where, like a lot of draft Twitter, they're like, "Well, dude, Bernardo Green, look at him play against some of these big boys." Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that's what you got to look at. You see how these guys do they come and play against the best competition. Mm-hmm. It's not like he's playing against Jag University.
Yeah.
But I do think he's a guy that I think he's a guy that I would throw a dart at.
Okay. And bringing up the rear, I'm not sure. Did you already delete all my guys?
Did I take all? Did I take one out?
Yeah, you did. It's all good. I can just go off the cuff here. I want to finish it off with Devondre Sweat, who is a massive defensive tackle out of Texas. 6'4", 366 pounds. He's just a massive body, and he's also extremely strong, and he demands double teams. Sound familiar? We had a guy that we drafted in the first round a couple years ago. In my opinion, he hasn't really proven his worth. Jordan Davis. And so if I want to get another body in there, camp competition, and if Devondre Swift is able to move some crowds better than Jordan Davis, then no reason to screw around. Throw him in the mix.
Yeah,
And with Fletch leaving,
yeah.
that's going to be another position to fill.
Yeah, and he's Josh Sweat's brother.
Is it his brother? I didn't even know that.
It's Josh Sweat's brother.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, Josh Sweat's brother, bro. So you put them in a family reunion in that joint.
Tim,
Be a dope one.
I mean, Ed picked 2 guys with DUIs. So,
Alcohol.
Keep it consistent.
red flags don't mean anything. No, but I mean, it is what it is.
I want players. I want players. And
Talk about players. I'll go next. There's a guy I've been talking about for a while now. Quinyon Mitchell. This guy has been on my list for a minute. The fact that going down to Senior Bowl, he's one of the big reasons why I had to see it in person. Can this guy from Toledo hang with the big boys down there? And he did. He was probably one of the best defensive players down there. I felt like he held his own. He's a guy that he's definitely checked off all the boxes throughout the offseason. I think when you see him, my thing is once I hear other guys start saying his name, I'm like, oh, am I on the right track here? Like, did I find? But then his stock is just rising and rising. I'm like, bro. So I do think he's a guy that I would actually potentially I would move up for him. I think if he's in range, he's just smooth.
What's range, in your opinion?
If he's around 15, I think the Colts, the Seahawks are around there, the Broncos are around there. I think if he's in range, I think I would move up because I think you're looking for a difference maker. I think he's a guy that I got to speak with, and I just said, Roman Wilson called you the tone setter. He's like, you were the guy that was setting the tone the whole week. He was talking shit. He was running. He had pick sixes. And then I said, who do you monitor? He's like, yeah, I met with the Eagles. I said, who do you model your game after? He said, Darius Slay. And I was like, how crazy would it be to have Darius and Quinyon on opposite sides? And again, our cornerbacks are in their 30s. I mean, it is what it is. The guys behind them, are they franchise cornerbacks in the making? I'm not sure yet. So go get your guy. It's been since Lito Shepard.
I like it.
So this is your first round. This is your first round pick.
Yes.
Wow.
This guy's he's all.
What do you want to give up? What would you give up for this?
I give
22,
53,
50,
53, and then if I've seen some other things where you offering the 161 in there. I'm trying to. I mean, if he falls in range where you can get him, go get your guy. I think another guy.
You really mean to tell me that 161 would cross the line between you getting Quinyon Mitchell or not?
No.
If you give me something
That's
back,
his boy. This is like Gail. I'm gonna tell you something. Gail did so much work on Quinyon Mitchell. He was up in this. He was making sure he was looking at feet work, body, everything, and he fits the bill. And he has that dog in him. Like he you know what I'm saying? He's not the one who's gonna shop from competition. Gail penciled this one in. Gail was on it before everybody else. I want to give him proper to Gail.
1990 asked. I mean, you talked about going up against the big boys. What kind of wide receivers was he going up against in Toledo?
We're talking, but that's my thing. Is like that's why you go to the Senior Bowl and see it for yourself against the top, like Lad McConkey, Ricky Pearsall. You're talking about Roman Wilson, and that's what he did. He came down there and just balled out. And everybody, not just me included, the Jeremiahs of the world and the Bruglers of the world, just, we're in all what he brought to the table. So I think in terms of fluidity, I think he's got that. Like what people are missing from Cooper's game, they're thinking that is he as fluid as a Terry and Arnold. I think I'm there with Terry and Arnold as well. I do think Arnold will probably be the first corner taken off the board. If he was to slip, I think Terrion Arnold's mental makeup is exactly what this team needs. I think you young leaders is what you really want. My other guy.
But do you think he would be fine coming to Philadelphia with the person that's already in the Eagles that took his spot when he was in college? Eli Ricks.
But this is why his mental makeup is way different than a lot of these other. Like, if you listen to his interviews, this guy is
great interview.
He's next level with it. I feel like you add those guys in the mix, he's gonna.
So what makes you so much more of a Quinyon fan than a Terrion Arnold fan?
I just think, they're both at that level, but I think Terrion Arnold he's more polished. I think he's SEC battle tested. Like he's coming from a great program, and I think he's made a lot of noise. That's what, like, you saw Sauce Gardner. People were like, "Oh, corner from Cincinnati. Like, is he going to be like?" But like Extrese is saying, everyone was saying about Sauce Gardner. When he came down to the Senior Bowl and clamped people, I was like, all right, this guy could be that dude. But I think Terrion Arnold, again, comes from a great program, winning program, and balled out. I think he had a better season than Kool-Aid. And I think when people are watching Kool-Aid, they're like, Terrion Arnold's the guy who is balling right now. So I think, and then again with Kool-Aid, I like Kool-Aid as well. If you're going later, foot injury, Jones fracture, I really don't want my corners coming in injured right away. And it's plus because of the intel we got at the Senior Bowl. I started looking at some of these prospects and being like, I'm trying to be like, not listen to well-known people tell me that watch out for Kool-Aid in his foot. And then the news comes out about his foot. And then it's just like a Jones fracture. It could be recurring. It could be a thing. Jared Verse, another guy who, if we go edge, I'd love to go there. I think he's physical. He can bull rush like watch that Florida game where he put that tackle on his ass. I think he's a guy who's got he's a bull in a china shop, man. Like he's a wrecking shop every time you see him. I think you want to diversify your edges. I think Jared Verse would be another guy to add to the mix if they go edge. Let's see.
I completely agree, man. Jared Verse is an absolute beast. We talked about the top 3 edge rushers in here with Jared Verse, Latu, and Dallas Turner. I think any one of the 3 is a home run.
Now, I put it in this next couple guys. I kind of put it in a mix to make it make sense. I think if the Eagles do wait their turn and not move up, guys that could make sense if Stoutland okays the move. I do think Amarius Mims, 6'7", 340. The body fat on this dude is another Georgia guy. Surprise. But I feel like Mims, he's only got 8 starts. He ended up getting injured. He's one of the top prospects coming in from high school. He was on Georgia. It's hard to. There's a lot of dogs on there. No pun intended. But I think if Stoutland was like, "Yo, this is the next dude that I can mold,"
what round are you thinking? Because is it with injury playing a part? Where do you think he goes?
Back in, if he fell to the back end of the first, it's not protection
with 8 games under his belt.
Yeah, we're talking about traits though. The way he plays. Like if you watch the games that he did play, I think he would be interesting. Not to say that I'd really love to go corner because you're adding some juice. But if they're thinking, down the road and they just can't pass up on his traits because the dude is legitly built like crazy. The next guy on day 2, Eagles have been sniffing around Raja. So I think while everyone's watching the other side of the ball with Troy Fatanu,
Scold.
I think
he's concentrating too much on it.
I think Roger has quietly been making a name for himself. So if he's the guy that you want to go later, day 2, day 3, if he falls into the third round, but I think, he's a guy. We're talking developmental. But I think the second round is where I'm really looking at, with the way the wide receivers are set up. Ricky Pearsall
coming. Yep.
Ricky Pearsall falling in our laps would be wide receiver 3. We're talking about 3 wide receivers interchangeable. He play slot, inside and outside. He's consistent at the catch point, which I've been asking for years from our wide receiver 3. Is that hard to ask? So drop rate is so low. Go ahead.
I agree. No, he's an absolute stud, and I think that the second round is exactly where he'll go. My question to you is, what's your immediate reaction? The Eagles take Cooper DeJean and then Ricky Pearsall. No.
Hey man,
what's your reaction going to be?
Hey,
we got some good players.
Backstreet Boys,
man.
Let's get the Backstreet Boys reunion. I say 2 other players in the second that I'm high on. Mike Sainstrill from. We're talking about. I know the way that our corners are set. We brought Tay back, but I think Sainstrill, that size, being a captain, you don't get captain and be that size. Because his words mean something. I think his players, follow his lead. I think he's been part of that championship team. So him would be crazy. He would be crazy. But I think Max Melton, who also met with the Eagles on a local pro day from Rutgers, would be nice. Inside, outside versatility. I think the mental makeup's there. I think the bloodlines. Shout out to his mom. His mom is the leading scorer for women in basketball at Rutgers. So she was the G over there.
That's awesome.
I know his father was told him and his brother, hey, do you want to be the ones that beat Penn State, or be the ones that beat Penn State, or just join the club. So a lot of both him and his brother played at Rutgers together. Another guy, Keon Coleman, gets a lot of hate, but just watching his work, I think big wide receiver, playing the slot. Wasn't the fastest guy in the 40, but in the gauntlet drill, he ran the fastest time. That means he ran a straight line, caught the ball. That shows confidence in his hands. This guy will hurdle people. He's a basketball player. He chose football over basketball. So I like him, what he brings to the mix.
And he's only 20 years old. I mean, still got plenty of time to grow.
Yeah. Let's see. Junior Colston, linebacker from Michigan. Again, I mentioned him earlier on. I just think overall, good linebacker prospect, great story, leadership. I think adding him in the mix would be excellent. Jackson Powers Johnson, we've all talked about him, but I feel like if the Eagles aren't going, I say earlier, and they want to stay at 22 and find a versatile lineman, he could be in the mix. Let's see. As we get down the list,
what's Junior Colston's birth name?
Birth name? Tell me.
Pierre Charles Colston.
Pierre Charles. Nice.
What are you, a butler?
Nice. I know Mark is probably in chat screaming for JPJ, but I think if they don't, he's a prospect. If you don't want to move off of 22, move back a little bit, and you grab him, you're adding a versatile guy to the mix. Let's see. As we move along into the draft,
I'm scared to ask: is this still all your day ones?
No. This is just potential options. I forgot to actually mention him.
See, but I'm the one that gets yelled at when I do.
Well, I'm speeding through these. Cooper Beebe as well. I talk about day 2.
Another familiar name too. That makes it too. I feel better.
The law firm definitely want him to add to the mix if we don't go offensive line early. So I'm cool with that. Marshawn Lloyd, Wilmington native, also an Eagle fan, met with the Eagles.
That look doesn't even look. That's a serious look.
Yeah, he's a serious, talented player. I think he was just a great interview. I just loved all the energy that he brought. Killed it down in the Senior Bowl.
He's a running back, right?
Running back. Messed that up.
Is he? I mean, does he give a Darren Sproles type of thing? I'm looking at 5'8", 220. I mean,
he's like a slasher, man. He's you know, he can put his foot in the ground and you know, he was just cutting people up at the Senior Bowl. Yeah. One of the highest rated running backs at the Senior Bowl.
Getting called out by Bob. Said too many names, pal.
Hey, hey, man.
I did 3 days. I did 3 players per day, Bob. That's 9.
I'm glad Gil.
I did 3 players per day.
I'm glad.
If I don't talk about, who's going to talk about?
Yeah, he's going to tell y'all to do 3 players, so he can go ahead and have this whole.
If you list every player in the draft, you're gonna hit.
No,
hey, that's what I'm saying.
We didn't say 10 guys. I never said. I said 7 of your guys.
Let him finish because he still got a long list.
Can you let me finish?
Let him
this
go.
Guy. Cedric Gray out of North Carolina. He's a guy who flashed down the Senior Bowl. I think if we're gonna pass on linebacker in the second round, everyone's booing us. Cedric Gray would be another guy to add to the mix. You know how the Eagles are, man. They're cheap when it comes to linebackers. The credit card always declines in the second round. So Cedric Gray later. Dylan Lobby, running back, definitely a guy who
you're moist gang over this guy.
I mean, we're just saying another prospect who I went down to Senior Bowl and he killed it, and everybody else who was in the stands was like, "This dude from New Hampshire, really?" And then he just started like routing people up, man. Started routing people up. It was great. It was great to see because you're looking at a guy from New Hampshire doing his business against SEC talent, and you're like, this guy's not supposed to win, right? But here he was. But watch his game against Central Michigan. 12 catches, 200 and something, almost 300 yards against them.
Damn.
And then late day 3, I think Ethan Driscoll, 6'8", 313, a guy that Stoutland can get his hands on. Eagles have been out his pro day, working him out. Almost looks like somebody on our podcast.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn.
Evan's older brother.
Fired.
Damn.
Actually, the little brother of Driscoll. That's Driscoll's little brother.
Is he?
Man. No.
Yeah.
So which picks
really?
which picks did you hate out of those?
Out of yours?
I didn't hate on it.
I didn't hate none of them.
I would have a fit trying to pronounce this guy's name, but
he didn't even pronounce it right.
Yeah.
So nobody's going to yell at him. Just so y'all know, he has another screen that has that pronunciation of every name, so he can sound good.
Bastard.
He doesn't share that with us.
I'm not even looking at it.
About Christian Haynes? Was that one of your guys as well?
No, but I actually like that. I like that pick though. I do. If you're gonna wait later, those are the guys to develop. I think he's a guy that made some money down at the Senior Bowl.
Can I say one more thing on your pick though, Gail? The Cedric Gray. I like Cedric Gray. I think he is underrated linebacker, and I hope the Eagles can get him.
There's a lot of prospects, but I do feel like, I think we can get our dudes, man. I think we can get our guys.
Well, I would hope so with that list you just dropped.
Our draft, the way the board has fallen to us, I actually think it's perfect, to be honest.
If anybody at the link is paying attention to this right now, this man really goes ham when it comes to drafts.
I hold on. We got to back it up half a second here.
Oh,
what Gail just said. It's perfect. You mean to tell me that if we were sitting there at 15, you wouldn't be saying the exact same thing? Like,
nah, man.
Jared versus right there.
No, I'm just saying.
It couldn't be more perfect that.
No, I'm just saying. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying there's multiple options for the draft to fall to.
This is where I'm gonna be honest with you, Gail. This list that you just gave is blowing my mind right now because I'm like, who the fuck are any of these guys? I didn't pay attention to none of these guys.
Bro. Well, that's why I went to. That's why I
You're right.
Research.
You're right. You got you got that. You have all that.
That's why you. That's what. And again, like just like shout out to Dane Brugler. If you want to see somebody do it, this dude did a mock draft and picked all 7 rounds for every single team. There's guys that have homework that, but that's their like day job. This is just a passion of mine. But again, I just think the way that the board is going to fall to us, there's multiple options. If we do want to move up and that guy falls to us, you got quarterbacks going, you got top wide receivers going, you got tackles going. Once the tackles go off the board, it's going to be bananas.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we can go if we're looking for a defensive player. The way the board will fall, and a defensive player could fall into our laps. And then if Latu or Verse is there, or like Dallas Turner, that's the most.
Do you actually play Madden, or do you play that segment where you could draft players?
The fantasy.
You mean franchise?
Yeah.
Franchise, like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
So a little bit of 4th of Jawn history, Gail. Do you remember, now that we're in the anniversary of the draft, what this was about? Who did we had just drafted when that made this face happen?
Kobe Dean, man, late.
That is the Kobe Dean pick.
I actually listened to his presser today.
The Kobe Dean.
Just did it kind of like
it was a presser from a couple of days ago, but just
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Was he was bagging up? He was like, hey, like watch for me.
Well, yeah, I mean, but my thing is what I took away is he's not 100% yet, which is really I was thinking in my Evan mindset. I was like, he's still because I
can smell it. I woke up, I smell bad knee. Like, what's up with that?
Now
it's still his foot, right? He's still that Liz Frank injury.
Hey, I mean, he had the plate removed, and you're just like, I'm hearing like robots, and I'm like, we're building people back together. You just can't. As much as I love Nakobe, you have to like bring in competition. Nothing against Nakobe, but I love the fact that he's going to be challenged. That's all.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah. Primo.
I'm trying to get.
Are you sure?
shout out to Primo. We gave him a homework assignment, but we're just bringing up his selections that he wants to talk about.
I think that he went the route of all the easiest to pronounce names.
Nah. I mean,
John Smith.
Listen, I'm gonna be smart about it. I ain't gonna say their full names. I'm just gonna say like Latu, DE of UCLA. You know what I mean? Keep it simple as that. All right. I'm not gonna put myself in that position, but yeah, that's my day one. I mean, y'all put me onto this kid. I started watching and all these named players that are about to be named right now. I literally went and saw some videos on them, and I stick to these players. These are ones that I'm hoping get picked in these rounds somewhere somehow. You know what I mean? I really feel that they're going to be a good fit to the team. Now, a lot of these names have already been mentioned by you guys. Maybe that might be the reason why Gail saved me for last. It's cool. And I'm just glad he got that long ass list out the way. Definitely would like to see that list after this show is done, because like I said, some of those players I had no idea about. Yeah, but Latu, I mean, come on. He's a 4-star recruit. I mean, strengths, crafty, punctual pass rusher. He plays the line perfectly. You know what I mean? He reads the plays. He's side by side. You know what I mean? He runs down. Seeing this guy come in for the top 30 visit, it was something that, Gail had brought to my attention, and that's what encouraged me to go see some video of him and seeing his play style on the field. His background, I mean, his heritage, some of these guys that come, from that background, these guys really are studs and everything. So that's why I could see this guy being that pick that night.
Don't gotta convince me, bro. I think he's a beast.
And hey, listen to him talk about his
neck injury.
But listen to he was talking to I was sitting in front of him. He was talking. He was like, "Yo, when I didn't play for that time that he had to not play," he said that hunger for the game just. He's like the guy was just like that. Who asked the question? He's like, "Well, how would you feel if we took away something you're passionate about, you'd be hungry, right? So I was kind of cool.
I mean, the other thing is too, you know, I mean, he's very what's the word I'm looking for? Like he only had one penalty last year. Like that's discipline. That's the word I'm looking for. Discipline. His discipline is there. The discipline level is really there. And you know, I mean, we're talking about one of the weakest things that we have on our defensive line is, you know, those penalties. So, you know, I mean, having somebody that only has one penalty throughout a whole football season, that's key. So I mean, that also definitely caught my mind on that guy for the first day. Cooper DeJean was next on my list, I believe. Keeping up with me, Gail.
Sorry, I'm
trying to go. I'm trying to go. Yeah. So this kid, you know, I mean, Strem's good size athlete with above average speed. You know, alert, disciplined, smooth in his movements, which allows him to use a variety of techniques. Reliable run defender, plays with outstanding control, hand strength as a tackler. Also a gunner on punt coverage, which you guys had mentioned earlier. You know, special teams. You know, it's definitely a key thing in to go ahead and be noticed in the NFL and to definitely earn your spot on the roster. So, you know, this kid is a stud. Milk Missile 2.0. I don't know. I mean, it's been mentioned. So, yeah, that's my second guy.
I like that. I Cooper DeJean. I just think if you're just bringing in a versatile guy, and if he's a dude that Fangio's like, he could be my wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so going into who do you want to hit up next, Prime?
Yeah, Cooper BB. This is the person that was definitely mentioned by, I believe, all three of y'all.
I kept them off.
So again, like I had mentioned, you know, I mean, past history of how he normally does, and I wouldn't be surprised if he goes this position first round. And it's not a bad thing with this kid. Natural knee bender, stays balanced in his pass sets. They say he has NFL quality feet, body control, size, length, fast eyes to comfortably pass off and pick up rushers. Initiates contact in the run game with an aggressive mentality, explosive takeoff and range when pulling on outside zone. Has the strength in his hands to turn seal edge defenders. So, you know what I mean, with the position we're in right now with our offensive line, I don't see it being a bad thing going after a guard first round. You know what I mean? Because we have to think about the future, especially with some of these guys coming to the end of their careers.
You got that right.
I think he's like is he a fan favorite?
Everybody's been hyping up the Cooper BB train.
I mean, but the cool thing is he got 26 starts at like left guard. He's got 13 starts at left tackle and then 9 starts at right tackle.
That's why everybody likes him. Versatile.
I think we all become Stoutland.
I think just drinking Philadelphia water, you get some Stoutland, some secondhand Stoutland in your water.
You want to go with Javon next?
Javon
Bulldog.
Yeah, he was actually. I think he actually fell down to my day 3. Hold on here, my notes just went. Yeah, so he was. I'm sorry, he was my day 2 pick 53. Stress about this kid, you know, again, a lot of mention that, you know, how he might stay with the Georgia-Alabama regime that he's been following for the past couple of years. So I wouldn't be surprised if he goes Georgia here, especially with this kid. You know, sturdy, well-developed upper body, terrific short area quickness with strong closing speed, split field range. Kirby Smart said a lot of things, you know, didn't really say anything bad about this kid. I mean, he's a stick of dynamite is what he definitely uses a lot. Blocked well to get off, you know, got off the defenders. You know, he's also has that leadership roles. It seems like a lot of these guys that come out of the Georgia Bulldog system, you know, has that leadership mentality. And, you know, again, in the position that we're in with some of these, you know, veterans that are, you know, going on a different path, we got to look for that next man up mentality. I think this kid will fit in well. He's already got half his teammates here on the squad. You know what I mean? So I think he'll fit in fine. So just going one from from Georgia to Philadelphia Bulldogs.
Yeah, dude.
Another Bulldog.
I'll take another Bulldog.
It's funny though. Like everyone's like the Bama, the Georgia script. There's a lot of them 5-star recruits, man. A lot of those guys. Some of those prospects got to go elsewhere to play. Like a Kyrie Jackson, he was at. Some of these guys can't get on the field, so they got to go other places. But
what are you throwing up there next?
Hold on.
Yeah, Kool-Aid.
Mark
now
asked,
you mentioned
40 times. Sorry to cut you off. It was 447. Sorry for that
447.
PSA. Go ahead.
Kool-Aid. I know you were worried about his injuries, Gail. You mentioned that, and people were hitting that to you, and then it came out in the opening about his foot. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Again, watching the video, watching the way this kid plays, actually looking to surpass that. A lot of these studs come into the league with the injuries that they carried, and a lot of them get over it. They better themselves from it. I don't know. I think I could see this kid, not really, going down that path. I think he's going to be fine. I mean, he's a patient athlete in his mirror techniques. Not only does he have long arms, but he knows how to use them to disrupt airspace. Has a knack for reading the eyes of receivers with his back on the ball and knowing when to get his hands up to attack the catch point. Weaknesses was definitely, again, what you had mentioned. A lot of people are really trying to focus on his past injuries, but I don't know. I just think he's definitely going to go ahead and overcome that. And regardless of if it's us that's picking him up or somebody else, I think he's going to be fine in the NFL.
And the what's it called? The endorsement deals, they write themselves.
Kool-Aid.
Pretty much.
Again with the way that like I said, the way that what the draft is falling to us, a good corner is going to fall into our lap.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'd rather get corner earlier than go later and gamble. I think one of these top corners could fall right into our lap, and you got to start in corner. Obviously, if you get Wiggins, you don't think he's like a tackle machine over here, but like again, as a cover guy, I think he's a solid cover guy. And then you like I said, you got a corner that could start right away, and then Kool-Aid again, either or.
Bring me Satan.
I gotta mention that was actually my day one hope was that we trade that number 22. Fuck it, even throw Bradbury in there, and let's go get Surtain. You know what I mean?
Have a Bradbury. Take it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Take him for free. But yeah, and then Gail killed it with the whole 5th-year option. I was busy at work today. I didn't even see that.
Well, Bradbury, if you trade him before, you're gonna get hit. So he's got to be after June 1st.
Oh, it's just a mention, and then we can actually ship him off June 1st. Remember, we're giving them up for free, so they're not hurting us.
You also had Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, this kid's a stud, man. I mean, I'm watching his videos. I'm not really a Florida Gators fan.
For a Miami guy,
I'm a Miami Hurricane. That's where the attitude's coming from. But hey, listen, exceptional focus on tackling skills, natural controls his body midair to make difficult grabs. I've seen some videos, one-handed catches that were like ridiculous. Quick stem cuts, good speed, won't lag out of his breaks. Has a feel for coverage and where to find open zones. That's definitely something we lacked last season. We definitely had a lot of open zones, open fields, and our receivers just weren't finding those spots. We keep mentioning about a third wide receiver. Here's an opportunity for this kid to come in and fill in that spot. Another person that you haven't mentioned yet that's on my list is Roman Wilson, that I also feel will be a key acquisition if we were to go that route as well. I'm not too much of a Michigan Wolverines fan either, but seeing this kid, seeing the videos, Yeah, I think he would. I think he'd just be fine. I think he'd be fine filling in that third wide receiver role.
If you had to pick one between Ricky Pearsall or Roman Wilson, which way you lean him?
I would actually go for Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, I like the height. There's something
I
about
might
5'9". It's just.
I like Roman Wilson. It's not even that, man. I might go to HR.
Gail's not to get offended as a 5'9" wide receiver, but
I might go to HR for this one. I don't know, man. Something about these white boys that come into this league, the speed is just ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
HR.
Sorry, I'll take myself to HR. Fuck it, whatever.
No, but Lad McConkey, also from Georgia, they were routing up guys at the Senior Bowl at a high clip.
Mark, I saw that too. Yeah.
But first of all, just want to give a shout out to Philly Sports Trips. If you guys are going to take a trip, this trip would be the trip of all trips. Birds take over at Brazil. We're hitting Rio de Janeiro first for a couple of days, and then Sao Paulo for the last 2 days. It's going to be a crazy trip. Make sure you're out there. Hit Vince up at Philly Sports Trips if you're trying to book a trip. It should be exciting. The first time you get to see the Eagles with Saquon Barkley in the offense is going to be in Brazil. Kind of weird scene. We also live draft show on Thursday. I know Primo's going to be at the draft party.
Actually, going to have to retract that one. I might be joining you guys on the live. Wasn't able to make it happen.
That live draft party is
exclusive now.
So like,
it is exclusive.
Season ticket holder. So maybe they're trading that first round pick away.
Possibly.
So they want everyone to come. They're going to trade it away.
They still want people to pay.
Hold up. All of y'all, hold up. Before y'all even continue on, I'm gonna finish my goddamn list. All right, I worked all goddamn day on this list. I want to go ahead. I just got one more person. If we get this person on the second day, I don't give a shit about the rest of the goddamn draft. Just give me this person, and y'all know who that is. Edgerrin Cooper. Give me this kid. As I'm reading this beast book, as I'm watching the videos, there ain't no goddamn weaknesses about this kid. That's crazy. Like, it's just all strength. I mean, and I'm gonna read this whole thing. Long, athletic, and can really run. Outstanding closing speed to chase down the ball from any pursuit angle. Rangy and covers more ground than the average linebacker. Absolutely reads splits and pre-snap depth to understand how to angle his average linebacker. How to angle his downhill pursuit. Effective slipping and evading blocks in space. Displays upfield burst and joint bend off the edge to heat up the pocket as a blitzer. Blitzing, like, that's just love it. Blitz, just give me some blitz. Long arm tackler to hug, pull down and finish his ball carries, fluid movements, and coverage to stay within arm's length of tight ends. Backs and some receivers, handle space well, and always knows where his help is experienced at multiple linebacker positions. Extensive special teams background and was a regular on both kick and punt coverage.
I like
Edgerrin Cooper. Edgerrin Cooper. Just give me Cooper.
Because my thing was, when we lost Hassan Reddick, I was like, just add me defensive players, playmakers, and I feel like, whether it's the back end or the middle of the field, I feel like the linebacker position is like, for our defense, has been the kill switch. You're like, there's a kill switch right in the middle of the field. We'll take advantage of them on the crossers, the deep crossers, and take advantage of them in space. So I feel like Devin White's here, Edgerrin Cooper, add him into the mix. That shit would be like, you see. I know it's bad when you start looking at other games and you see in the playoffs and see teams that are really good, and you look at their linebackers, you're like, man, I wish my linebackers were built that way.
You mean every year?
Yeah. Every year.
You just want one dog in the middle just to be like setting the tone,
Right.
What was our last dog? Nigel Bradham, I guess.
I like Kaiser White.
I mean, I like Kaiser White, but but honestly, Evan
dog,
brings
like
up a
dog,
good point.
dog.
Dog was
yeah. He's not a good dog, though. But...
And I always go back to that game against Carolina Panthers. That was the tone setter right there.
What about D'Amico Ryans? He was a dog.
D'Amico was solid. Yeah,
D'Amico was a dog.
He was older at the time, but I just think just say a guy. That's when I talk about Junior Colson or Edgerrin Cooper, whoever's going to be there. Mm-hmm. Someone you could set it and forget it and be like, yeah, this is our next linebacker for the next 4 years. And be like, yeah, that's the guy. Because right now we don't. Devin White, he's only on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, right. And he would do a great job being.
And I gotta be honest with you, he was the last person I looked at while he was playing with Tampa Bay. Like, damn, why can't our linebackers be like that?
Well, I always look at the 49ers and I'm just like, man, Fred Warner, that was my dude. And now I'm sitting there like, I'm like, in the draft process, I was like, Fred Warner's the guy, and I'm like, that's the guy that I want. He's got the, because the new age linebacker is not like your uncle's favorite,
like Mike Singletary,
Jeremiah Trotter. Like we don't have these thumpers that you keep on the field.
Way
like
more athletic guys now.
Yeah, this is
you got to be able to cover.
This is a new league here. This is a new league, and this is a new mock draft. We're gonna. This is our last mock draft before the draft.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Unless we run one on Thursday right before we get started,
or we run one on Wednesday. If anyone wants to hang out on Wednesday, and I mean the news stories you're hearing right now are a little crazy. You're hearing a lot of buzz about. I also hearing about Eagles trading up for cornerback. My thing is if this stuff gets slipped out, that's usually smokescreen season.
It's true.
So Howie's like, oh, talk about the cornerbacks, but meanwhile he's like,
I mean, with that being said, I mean the AJ Brown trade nobody saw coming. You know what I mean? To your point, Gail. I think that was something just out of left field that Howie's working on behind the curtain.
We were all like, oh shit, when that went
down. BR guy 55 says no Peyton Wilson love. I love Peyton Wilson. I like his game, right? But I just don't. He's got 2 ACL tears. He's got shoulder surgeries. I just think if you're gonna wait later and you can get him, I don't think he's gonna fall past the third. But I think if you check the medicals with Evan, the 2 ACL tears and the shoulder surgery, that's how the Eagles are. If they could get him a value pick in the third round, the value meal, this shit has like an extra chicken nugget in there.
Loves their value meal.
2 burgers, a fry, and a toy. That would be cool. But I
get a McDouble.
Trying to get a Wendy's 4 for $4 over here.
I'm always getting the kids meal. I don't give a shit.
Everybody's higher on the Cooper, the law firm. I think everyone's been pretty high on that. But yeah, I'm going to.
Bob wants to know all the UDFAs. I'm kidding. Pete says, if you don't draft Edgerrin Cooper, a good second round option would be Junior Colson or Cedric Gray. That was 2 guys we talked about. Agreed. So, are we already at our pick?
I was I'm always mocking. Always mocking over here. Always mocking. Can you see my screen?
You can see your screen.
Okay. Here we go. Do you guys want to do any trades for the sake of
You got to do 7 rounds, guy.
Do you want to do any trades for the sake of trades?
No, I say we run this one through.
Okay, we're gonna wait.
Man, you don't want to trade?
Thank you, Evan.
Let's see. We're gonna start the draft here. Let it fall to us.
Let's see who falls to us.
Oh, come on! This is almost like
right there, bro.
This is like a dream come true right now. Can we? So on the board, Troy Fatanu, JC Latham, who's also tackle. Hopefully you can move him, play right guard, 340. AD Mitchell, wide receiver from Texas. Nate Wiggins from Clemson. Brian Thomas Jr., Kool-Aid McKinstry, Jackson Power Johnson.
What are the trade options here if we were to move back?
27.
Man, we ain't working with the odds.
27, 48, 76. Nah, we not doing that.
48, you might be able to get Cooper and a whole bunch more.
I think I'm good here. Fatano falls in your lap. We good with that? Everyone good with that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yo, Stoutland gets his guy. That would be crazy if he fell, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So
hey, another guy.
We sitting at
right to the top of the board.
Sitting at 50. Guys that went off right before the 50th pick. Jalen Polk, wide receiver from Washington. Jonah Ellis, edge from Utah. Jatavian Sanders from Texas, tight end. Keon Coleman, Bo Nix, Roman Wilson, Rakestraw, Leggett, Fisk. Pearsall went 40. Wow. So we're sitting on the board. We have Javon Bullard, safety from Georgia, Jonathan Brooks, Chris Jenkins, TJ Tampa, Blake Corum, running back from Michigan, Jaden Hicks, Kamari Lassiter, Adrian Cooper.
Let's go.
Do you want to go Coop now or later?
I mean, I would have went Coop, but I mean, even if you go,
all we got to do is wait 3 picks.
That's it.
I think he'd get picked. I think he would get picked, though.
I think he would too, man, because you got the Steelers right there.
And then,
you got LA looking for a linebacker as well. Nah, take Cooper.
We got Bullard or Hicks up next, I think.
So in this draft, we go. I just want to see who's after. All right, we're gonna go Cooper for all you linebacker heads out here screaming.
This would be my dream draft so far.
And he's still there. And he's still there.
I'm wondering if we go Justin Simmons. They're waiting.
I'm wondering if we go for the guys that we talked about on this whole past hour and a half.
Exactly.
I mean, so far,
and then we find out he's got 3 arrests.
Okay.
2 for alcohol.
And
I'm about to make an arrest right now on the stream. Citizens arrest.
This guy's. What have you been drinking, guy? What about? Okay, now think about the offense right here. We got a linebacker, so everyone's rejoicing. Xavier Worthy is still on the board.
Okay.
So Javon Bullard, right?
Junior Colson's damn. Oh, Matt.
No,
wait.
We just got Adrian Cooper. Why would we go back linebacker?
Hello.
No, I'm not saying Junior.
Oh.
I'm saying Max Melton.
Oh, Max Melton.
Okay, well then pick Max Melton. Just pick.
Max Melton would be sexy.
All right, Diddy.
Is anyone fighting in the chat? Xavier Worthy.
Max Melton.
Max Melton.
Rack Shack's talk about Bullard or Hicks would be good. Chris Jenkins.
Jaden Hicks.
Ooh, Darius Lobster's right there too.
I mean, think about it though. As we talk it through, when do you want to hit on wide receiver here? The latest you want to go. You want to wait till the
Next
4th round?
Next pick, I would say.
Which is what, 4th round?
120, yeah.
I think it's maybe it's move back time. 56. You want to trade with see what we can get if we move back a little bit? Trying to get a 3rd round pick?
You think you'd be able to get a 3rd for moving back 3 spots in the 2nd?
See that 87 pick right there?
Go for it.
Traded the 120 to get back into the
do 53 and 120 for 87 and what's it called? Yeah, offer it to them. See what they say.
Cowboys being Cowboys. We'll move back.
Maybe you offer a later pick. Like
so,
2
we gave him 161.
Go ahead, hit offer the trade. All right, now I think we find a different partner.
Who wants to trade with the Cowboys now? I don't know. I mean, think about Bullard over.
You asked me to come up with guys I wanted to pound.
No,
the
no. I'm
table
just.
for.
I'm
telling you.
Well, listen.
Bullard.
Listen to my thought process here, man. Javon Bullard, is he more of the same of CJGJ?
What do you mean?
Or you think he's going to start over? You think he's a starter here?
I think he has potential to at least be a to be some competition to start.
Okay. Is everyone wants to go Bullard?
Yes.
Tim?
Yeah.
That was convincing.
That was fucking. You sound real tired.
No. I was just saying.
Speak
I'm
your mind
looking
here.
at it. I like Chris. Jenkins. Jenkins. I like Chris.
I wouldn't be opposed to Chris Jenkins either.
I like that pick.
We're getting yelled at to get some wideouts.
That's what I'm saying. The way that we're waiting till, bro, it's gonna be. We got to hit wide receiver here, which is possible. You know, like if Malik Washington's there.
Ooh, Jacob Browning's right there.
He's got some speed.
That's perfect.
Tavondre Sweat is there. Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis, Michael Hall Jr., Tavondre Sweat, who we just talked about, Ardrick Estime, who I'm pretty high on, running back. I just think, man,
wide receivers are
narrow it down to just wide receivers.
We didn't grab a corner yet either.
Oh yeah, we did.
Go up.
Shit.
What?
This is a mock. Relax.
I'm not feeling.
Wi-Fi isn't set up. For help, go to
How
your
about-
Alexa app.
How about Jarvis Brown Lee would be interesting here. We still got a wide receiver to pick, but I think right now with the way the board is sitting, I can show you what I can show you what wide receivers are on the board. I mean, Cowing, I guess, Luke McCaffrey.
I like that.
Cowing.
Speed.
Jaquan Jackson, Jalen Coker. It's the first time we've drafted Cowing, but definitely he's got some juice. Senior Bowl guy. Wasn't really fired up about that. Brownlee went off the board. Kind of hurting.
Sitting there.
We got Zentner. We got Jordan Whitten. We got we're rolling the dice on our corners in house. Well, speaking about corners, Rodgers got his little reinstatement. So,
do you think that any of these guys that are on this list right now would be like real competition against like an Eli Ricks or someone like that, or do you think that we are better off just kind of rolling the dice with Ricks?
Like I was with Jarvis Brown Lee, I was pretty high on him. I would have been cool with that, but
if we don't pick,
what if we went back to back wide receiver, just throwing multiple darts at the board, hoping one sticks? We did that with Quez Watkins and John Hightower,
but I'm just not high on these dudes. I mean, Jalen Coker, Jordan Whittington. I mean, the Zach Zenter. Do we get a offensive line? We got Fatana. I think they would be high on the Zenter pick.
Yeah, Kalen King.
Ah.
He's more like a safety though.
Did we get a linebacker? We got Cooper. We got developmental tackle Walter Rouse. We haven't grabbed the tackle yet either. JD Bertrand.
Do you mean a defensive tackle?
Nah, offensive.
What do you mean we got Fatana?
No. Well, I mean, he could play both actually. So. No, I mean, I've said developmental tackle, but I mean, he could play tackle, but they're saying he's a better guard.
You're going pretty far down the list here, guy.
Rendo.
Josh Newton.
I like
Rendo.
we're in day 3 running back territory.
Well, we also have 171 and 172 back to back too. So you're all the way down this list, but 10 picks from now we have 2 picks.
I'm just trying to see.
I would
What's on
go
the board,
with
actually.
Zinter. I would go with Zinter on this one.
Yeah. Bring it in. Bring it in. Bring it in. We're sitting on the board at 171 and 72. We got the next 2 picks.
Who was the running back we were just talking about? From Louisville?
He's there.
Rendell.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
I'd be down to take Newton too, honestly.
Josh
Johnny
Newton.
Dixon.
Ooh. Rasheen Ali.
Hey, no, that's a good one too.
So if we go, you want to wait until running back? You want to go running back now?
If we got back to back picks, why not go running back?
I would have.
We didn't pick a. We have.
All
I mean,
We ain't got a
Nehemiah
corner.
Pritchard.
Pritchard?
I mean, I could.
We could get a running back and a cornerback right here.
So we got Garendo, and these cornerbacks is butt ass. They're not butt ass. I'm just saying. You're waiting this late. JD Bertrand, interesting prospect. We already got a linebacker though, but Kalen King, throw a dart at it later. Oof. Oof. Nehemiah Pritchett, how about that?
Gail's opening up the fridge right now, hoping that something else is going to be in there. But no matter how many times you open it, it's going to be the same names.
No, not the sour milk.
Oof. Nehemiah Pritchett. That was not sexy. Going to round 6. Boy, we get the Penn State crew was in there. Johnny Dixon. We throw a dart at him.
Yeah, that's who you probably want to throw a dart at.
Miles Murphy.
Oh, there, boy, Ethan Driscoll there. Johnny Dixon, cornerback, Penn State. We wait to the 6th round.
If Driscoll's there, the next round.
Nah,
Yeah.
Driscoll's gone.
He's off.
That was our last pick.
Oh,
Stress-free mock draft. So the board was saying, PFF said you should have drafted TJ Tampa. He was higher than Edrin Cooper. So we went with Troy Fatanu from Washington. We got an A for that. Edrin Cooper, linebacker from Texas A&M, C+. Javon Bullard, we got an A. Safety from Georgia, Jacob Cowing. Speed Demon from Arizona, Zach Zinter, coming off injury, but developmental guard. Isaac Garendo. For some reason, PFF hates him, but Isaac Garendo, he balled out at the combine. Nehemiah Pritchett, we got a B from Auburn, cornerback from Auburn, and we went with Johnny Dixon. We got an A+ from Penn State. Interesting.
Not bad. But I think we've had better.
We've only had one better. We've averaging about a B+ on all of them.
right.
Oh man.
Oh,
So how do you guys feel about that one? Stressful?
Eh.
What was it? You didn't like the guard? That's a sexy ass pick, the guard. Tackle.
They hated Garendo. They hate your boy, bro.
Huh?
But this entire time I've been sitting here thinking about who was the 6'4" corner. That's who I want to go look into. I want
Kyrie Jackson.
Kyrie Jackson.
I want a giraffe ass corner is what the fuck I want, man. I want long limbs. So I'm gonna start looking more into that as well. My long limb DBs.
Jay says first pick will be in right now in 48 hours.
That's right.
Man. I mean, that was a good test of the mind. Obviously, I've been watching people's mocks all over social media and just sitting there judging. So there's probably someone watching this. Fuck these guys.
He got that list from me.
But
you don't know
yeah,
what they're doing.
yeah. I mean, I think we put ourselves through the gauntlet over the last couple weeks. 2 more days, man. 2 more days. 2 more days,
sir.
But before we get out of here, big shout out to Bud Light for holding us down all these years. Shout out to Conshock and Time Bakery, and shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn and his mastery on the grill with the cheesesteaks.
Appreciate you.
Me and my brother had an in-depth conversation about that guy that came tested out your cheesesteaks.
Oh, the guy from Japan.
We were just wondering how he perfects it. Like, is he gonna get the Amoroso rolls from all the way in Japan?
Mm.
Is the water gonna be right when he bakes the bread? There's a whole lot of shit.
A whole lot. Yeah.
Shout out to Red Bull for holding us down as well. But we'll go with you, Tim. Last word before we get out of here.
Yeah, man. Welcome back, Isaiah Rogers. Welcome back. I love the little video he did with his Ring doorbell.
That was awesome.
I do think this may change some things in the draft. Now he's reinstated. Maybe. Yeah, man. I'm excited, bro. Draft time, draft talk. This is what I like to do. This is what I like to do. So. I'm ready.
Kind of mad we didn't go with Max Melton in that draft.
I said Max Melton, but y'all wanted to.
Who do we go with?
Bullard. Bullard. I wanted Max Melton.
Keep him off the sauce.
PFF liked it, pal. Go check the grades.
Yeah, you did get an egg for it.
Demanded Garendo, and you D plus average.
There's no grades on red flags in this. They don't. It's not in there.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I'm ready. And yo, Sixers, we got cheated yesterday. We're gonna make this up. Call timeout next time. Can you?
He did. They tried to.
2 times.
The players.
Yo, I did feel like there was some conspiracy shit going on in that game.
Oh, there was, bro. I ain't even getting into it.
Yeah.
Go watch this show, so I'm not getting into that. But yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Last word, Primo.
Glad this mock draft shit is over. 48 hours.
Sunshine.
Always, man. 48 hours. Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and log off, and I'm going to get my ass chewed out. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
Nice. That'll be a fun time.
Yeah. Thanks.
No.
Hold on. My bad. I saw Kathy's comment. What's up, Kathy? Thank you for always taking care of the 4 for Jawn boys. JP, what's up? And it was another comment I saw on there. I can't remember, but yeah. Anyway, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm hyped up, man. I think that we are really on the edge right now of some big moves happening. Things have been quiet in the Philadelphia Eagles nest for a few months now. The season ended, we've kind of been casually making moves every now and then, but this week is going to be a whole lot of action going on. And if there's anything we've learned in recent years, it's Howie Roseman likes to make a splash on the draft weekend. So I'm waiting out for that. I'm thinking that we don't even end up making a pick in the first round, because I'm thinking that big chance that we're either going after Surtain or we're going back in the into the second. That's my prediction. I'm thinking that first round might be off the table entirely. So
what you have?
Let's go Birds.
That would be incredible. It would be an incredible feat by Howard Roseman. But last word before we got out of here. Shout out to all you people in the chat. Shout out to the 359 people watching live. Shout out to people listening on the road, at work. Hopefully we make your road trip a little bit more easy when you're trying to be a draft geek, listening to all these prospects. Shout out to you guys for the assignment that
you're Mike, bro. You waited all this time. And then you had to go and crap It's people's ears.
Now, how about now?
You're good.
Shout out to you guys for coming through on the assignment with your favorite players and some of your prospects. I know. Shout out to you guys in the comments for giving us your favorite prospects as well. A lot of prospects to go through. We're 48 hours away from the first round of the NFL draft. But get ready, it's going to be exciting. We'll see you guys in the next one, and as always, fly, Eagles, fly.
Go Birds.